Hi everyone, my name is Jackie Ray. My group members, Heller, Weston, and I, will each be talking about School Media Centers grades 6 through 12. Because of budget cuts, school districts have been forced to take steps to ensure that school media centers stay open. Some have cut librarians, some have cut hours, and some have cut materials. Each option is a side effect and has created steps that limit the access and resources in the library. The cuts are different in each school district across the country, but like any department, bring complications for students, teachers, and in this case, also librarians. I will be discussing 3 losses that have come about and what their effect is on students and faculty. The first loss I will discuss is the cut of the librarian. Many schools are laying off librarians, and instead of having several, only 1 or 2 are left. This becomes an issue not only for those who have lost their jobs, but for students, teachers, and librarians still employed. With the growing role of the librarian, they are suddenly left with more work, responsibility, and stress. They must work on shelving, checking in books, paperwork, and other tasks, while also continuing to help students with their book and technology needs. Teachers who rely on library trips must wait to find a time when the library is free and when they can find an available librarian. This can prevent book checkout, such as textbooks or fiction books, and also help from the librarian. For students, they are unable to quickly hit help or answers because the librarians are busy with the influx of students. Much like the double class sizes for teachers, one must suddenly do more. This has brought a trend that surprised me. It was that of the volunteer. I was surprised by how many school media centers use volunteers. But then I realized, it is much like parent volunteers in elementary school classrooms, aiding the teacher with an extra set of hands and easing the workload. This is a job my mother very much enjoyed, and even though I was surprised, I also completely understood why it was happening. I'm sure the jobs they do are not huge, but anything that can ease the workload must be appreciated, and parents who enjoy being active in their child's school can participate. Another cut is to the hours. Many districts are trying to keep the library up and running, but are slashing the hours that it is open. This could mean it might not be open before school, after school, or during class. Any hour can be closed to cut the access to the library for students and teachers. Another more drastic measure is closing the library down on certain days of the week. This could mean that for 2 or 3 school days, there is the possibility of no library. It is possible for the librarian to be working, but no one but the librarian is allowed. This limits the access to the library by cutting it off completely, and forces students to raid in on their open days. This also cuts off the access for the teachers, and again, for library trips or checking out books. The loss of material is the last issue in this presentation I will discuss. As my groupmate Heller discussed in her presentation, most have begun to move towards non-printed materials. With technology slowly taking over, it is inevitable that we will lose some of the printed word. Budget cuts have made working towards ebooks and internet references easier. It is cheaper to not use printed material that is constantly updated. An example of this is Encyclopedia Britannica. Every few years, a new set is issued. By getting the digital copy of this encyclopedia and other resources like this, less money is spent and the information is constantly up to date. This also allows more to be spent on other printed materials. Books are, of course, the ground of the library. With digital ebooks available through apps and the internet, many have chosen this as an easy way to read. There are those who still, however, use printed material. Books, unlike their digital counterparts, can wear and tear and need to be updated. Making sure a variety of books and textbooks are available for every student can be a difficult task, and one that librarians are trying to continue with a limited budget. Of course, books are not the only materials that fall apart. Tables, chairs, shelves, and book carts are only a few of the materials that are also subject to wear and tear. These items, of course, do not need to be constantly updated, but they should be updated after time. Computers are the other item that require updating. especially at the rate of technological improvements. They also require constant upkeep. With viruses, crashes, and hardware malfunctions, computers need to be readily available and therefore must be updated and checked. Most librarians cannot get new computers, if they are lucky to have them at all. This means making sure that what they do have works and can get the students the information they need no matter what the machine is. Librarians must do what they can to keep the library updated for everyone who enters and continues to have the necessary resources. This isn't always an easy task, and with the new budget cuts, it can be an even harder one. All libraries have taken a hit in the last couple of years. Although my project is only on 6 through 12 media centers, libraries are important for all. But by shrinking them in schools, students lose out on the information hub. And for many, this is the first look at a library. And as they get older, the only place for them to get information. In grades 6 through 12, new tasks are also being required. Research becomes important, and for this, libraries hold the information they need. 6 through 12 can also take the students through library transformations. For me, 6th grade was elementary school, 7th and 8th middle school, and 9th through 12th high school. Each new school brought different and new books, and also brought vastly different libraries. As research became required projects, libraries were places teachers needed us to go. With technology becoming so huge and emphasis being placed on quick and easy answers, most students do not see why libraries are important. But librarians have become not only the master of the printed word, but of technology as well. I myself am still learning about search engines, databases, and so much more information than I even knew existed, with more than just a quick Google search. These are things librarians can teach, and this is why they are important. Even with Kindles, Nooks, and so many other e-readers, books still hold importance. With big-name series like Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, The Hunger Games, and even Twilight, books have become demanded. Interest in reading can pop up at any time, and having it readily available for all students can entice them to read. But of course, they must be there. These losses may greatly affect students, teachers, librarians, and libraries. But librarians are not stopping. They are moving with the times and merging new trends and old, and always giving information, even with budget cuts.